The Oshkosh plane crash occurred on August 3, 2019. Two people were killed when the Oshkosh plane crashed in southwest Wisconsin. The pilot radioed in that the plane had lost power shortly before the crash. The plane had taken off from Fond du Lac County Airport. Witnesses reported hearing a loud noise or rumble before the crash. The plane crashed into an area of tall trees and the debris was scattered in a wide area. The victims were both male. One was identified as the pilot and the other was a passenger. No other individuals on board were injured. An investigation is underway by the National Transportation Safety Board to determine the cause of the crash. Investigators are looking at possible mechanical failures, weather, pilot error, or other factors. The plane was an Oshkosh Suburban, and the flight was en route to Waterford, Wisconsin. Pilot error seems to be the leading cause for the crash. Both of the men on board the plane were from North Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and were believed to be heading to Fly Fishing Club meeting in Waterford. The plane hit the trees at an angle, causing the plane to instantly split into several pieces, leaving very little room for passenger/pilot survivability. The NTSB investigators on the scene collected as much wreckage as possible for further examination. The flight data recorder was found on site and its analysis has yet to begin. The surrounding community is mourning the loss of life, and it has become apparent that the plane went down too quickly and too low for anybody to survive. The impact of the crash was enough that some of the debris from the crash was located up to quarter of a mile away from the crash site. The exact cause of the plane crash is yet to be determined. Possible mechanical problems, or pilot errors, which led to the crash remain under investigation. Following the crash, a temporary flight restriction was placed in the area while the National Transportation Safety Board conducted its investigation. The investigation is taking much longer than expected due to the size of the crash site. Portable navigational aids have been brought in to help locate debris scattered over the large area. Local residents reported hearing a loud noise when the plane crashed, and they reported feeling multiple impacts nearby. Consequently, the NTSB team has ruled out any issues with air traffic control and has moved towards investigating the engine, wiring, and other mechanical components of the plane. A preliminary report has been released by the NTSB. According to the report, the plane was flying at an altitude of approximately 2,100 feet when it crashed. Both the pilot and passenger were found in the wreckage. Both were killed on impact. Both bodies were recovered and taken to the coroner's office for examination. The crash caused significant damage to the wooded area and surrounding homes. Firefighters and other emergency responders had to spend days putting out hot spots. An engine examination is being organized and will likely be finished in a few weeks. The engine's condition will be assessed and analyzed to determine if it contributed to the crash. The NTSB has also contacted the manufacturer of the plane, Oshkosh Aircraft, to see if there have been any history of previous issues or malfunctions. Oshkosh has a strong safety record, and the company has openly expressed their sympathies to the families affected by the crash. The NTSB is still in the process of interviewing witnesses to the tragedy to gain more information about the crash, and will be conducting follow-up interviews in the next few weeks. Despite the crash, Oshkosh Aircraft have insisted that the aircraft remains safe and are prepared to investigate any concerns that may be present. The NTSB investigation into the Oshkosh plane crash is ongoing, and further updates are expected in the coming weeks.